Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You may not realize what you're doing in this chapter. You may think you're just playing with shapes. Ooh, I just rocked your world. Ooh, earthquake. No, not really an earthquake. You may think you're just playing with shapes and dots and things like that are so simple, like in kindergarten, but no, you have started the basics of geometry. Ooh, let me show you that again. You're starting the basics of geometry. Ooh, that's something that you'll take in high school, but you're starting it now. Isn't that exciting? Don't you feel big and important? Okay, I'm gonna show you this right here. I really wish we were in class because we would have rubber bands and fun card things we could make shapes with on these pegs, but alas, we are at home, and so we'll have to do this as fun as we can make it. This is called dot paper, grid paper. It's the start of what will become graph paper in a few minutes. But what you're seeing here is that if you were to hook a rubber band along these little dots, you could make a shape. You could make these same plane shapes on your geo board or on your dot grid paper. And so if you were to dot, you guys have all done dot to dots. Well, dot to dot is just plane shapes creating a picture. And so we're gonna get to practice that in a minute. You can also take that same idea and instead of just having the dots, you can use paper that connects those dots. It's called graph paper or grid paper because this is what a grid looks like when you have even numbers of squares back and forth. And so you can do the same thing. Your points are connecting for your shape. They are connecting where the edge of the grid comes together, where there would be a dot if you were on this kind of paper. And so you can see that if you draw from the corner of this box to the corner of that box and down over and across, you end up with a triangle that is very precisely drawn because you know that the space between each grid or in between each dot is exactly the same. It helps architects and engineers to draw exact measurements for what they are looking for when they are drawing plans for a building or for your home or for a doghouse or for whatever you're trying to build. Really, really great tool. So we're going to practice doing this tool right now. Take out your workbook and turn to this page right here. This is a fun page. This is the one I said stop yesterday. This is page 233 in your workbook. You're gonna do just reminding yourself what shapes can be put together to make other shapes. 2 simple rules to follow at the top. All the cutouts must be used. Don't throw any of those away, use them all. And none of them can overlap. So you're gonna take these shapes and you're gonna put them on top of this black image of this rocket ship and take a picture for me. If you can't tape it or glue it, that's fine. Just make sure it lays on top. Same thing here, you're gonna cut out these shapes and you're gonna lay them on top of this, what do you think that is? Upside down top hat, a vase, a plant box, you could probably come up with what you think that is. You're very much more creative than I. So that's what that is. When you turn the page, we're gonna do this first one together on this page. If you're noticing here, what they want you to do is copy this figure onto the dot paper. Okay, so here's your figure here for number 13. I'm gonna zoom in just a little bit more so you can really see what's going on here. No, I don't wanna get too close because then you can't see the dots. All right, how's that? Excellent, glad you approve. Things you're gonna have to notice first. Don't just start drawing. You're gonna have to use your eyeballs first. You know, those little eyeballs, those cute things God gave you to be able to see. You're gonna have to use your eyeballs, okay? So you're gonna have to notice that when this line goes across, the line doesn't start at the first dot. It starts on the second line down and the second dot in. So we're gonna go down one line and in one. So I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna go down one dot and in one dot and I'm gonna put a little circle around that to show me that's where I'm gonna be, okay? And then I'm gonna look at this one and I'm gonna say, okay, it goes over, it starts here and it goes over 3 dots. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is the dot that I circled. So I'm gonna go over 1, 2, 3 dots. I'm gonna take my pencil, I'm gonna go over 1, 2, 3. Now my line is in exactly the same place as their line. I'm copying it exactly. My building is not gonna fall over. Okay, so now I'm gonna take this same dot that I started with and I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3 dots down. So I go to my first dot here. I'm gonna go 3 dots down. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. Now I have an option here. I can go this way or I can just go down again. It's always easier to go down first. So I'm gonna start over here, which is right here. And I'm gonna go down 2 dots, 1, 2, and stop. So I go 1, 2, and stop. Now all I have to do is connect these two, but before I make that line, I wanna make sure that I'm noticing I'm not touching any dots between this dot and this dot. I don't cross over any dots. It's all in the space. So I'm gonna do that over here. I'm gonna go directly across. I'm not gonna touch any dots. Now my shape matches exactly this shape. For size, it's congruent. It's the same size, same shape, same position on the grid. That's what you're looking for. Same size, same shape, same position on the grid. You're gonna do that same thing with this one right here, putting it over here, and this shape right here. Use the same process I used. Pick the first dot, figure out where it is, put it over here, and then draw, counting and drawing. When you turn the page, we're gonna now do the same kind of practicing, only with grid paper, okay? So you notice this one is the same size, same shape, same place on the grid as the one before it. That's what the Bible scholars had to do. They had to copy it exactly, word for word, letter for letter. That's what house plans have to be. They can't change the size of a wall when they copy it over, so it's important to be able to make sure you're copying same size, same shape. Helps you with your geometry. Ooh. Okay, here we go again. So we're gonna look at this shape right here together. We're gonna do one together and then you're gonna do the other two. We noticed that we are coming in the edge of the first box, so we're coming in one bump. So I'm gonna come into the first edge of the square. And I'm gonna go down how many boxes? 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes. So I'm gonna go down 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes. Okay? And then I'm gonna notice that from the other side, maybe, you could do this a different way. You could figure out which line that's on. If I wanted to do it that way, I would count this, where that is gonna hit is gonna come 1 box down from here. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna put it right here. I'm noticing that I'm 1 down and I'm 2 over from this line, 1, 2. If that's true, I can just connect those dots. All right, then I can look at this other one over here and I can say, I'm gonna come 1 down from the top and put a dot there. That's this dot right here. And then I know that I can connect those two and I'm not crossing a corner right here. I'm just going in the middle of the line, in the middle of those boxes. Now I can go down if I want to next. 1, 2, 3, 4 from this mark. 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes. And then I look at the bottom and I know that I have this one and I have this one and I'm looking for the middle one. And I know that I go up 1 from the very center. So I'm gonna go up 1, put my little dot there so I know where I'm connecting dot to dots. And then I connect that over there. And then mine is the same size, same shape as the one that I copied on my graph paper. It's congruent, say that, congruent. Same size, same shape. Your turn. You're gonna do this one and this one. It's gonna be same size, same shape, same position on the grid. You're gonna be counting boxes and checking to make sure. And then you will stop after that because you're not doing this page. We'll do that another time. So you have a grid paper, a dot paper, and you're gonna cut out your shapes today. All right, ready, set, go.